Okay, welcome everybody to this quick hit on home sales. Now, this video, I'm going to focus on the number of home sales that occur each year and have historically occurred and where we are right now. So currently, there's a lot of people that are paralyzed in making decisions, and this includes a lot of investors who are thinking about going into real estate, but they're not sure if this is a good time to invest or not. I'm going to show you why it makes a lot of sense to jump in and get involved, because waiting on the sidelines for the perfect opportunity just never materializes. As professional investors, we can make a profit no matter what the market conditions are. But in this video, I'm going to focus exclusively on the number of closed sales that are occurring on an annual basis in the metro Atlanta area. Now, for us as our investment company, there's always a window of opportunity to invest in distressed houses. And being a small to mid-sized company, our goal in the next 12 months is to do 40 acquisitions and 40, reselling them for a profit. So 40 transactions in 12 months is not a large number of homes compared to the number of home sales that take place every year. And we don't have to compete with the big companies that need to take down thousands of homes every year in order to satisfy the demands of their investors. As a small group, you can be part of our team and get a very good return on your money, even though we're doing a relatively small number of home sales, and actually the market conditions are just perfect for our strategy. And I'm going to demonstrate that now. I'm just going to share my screen, move a few things around here. Just bear with me a couple of seconds here. So this chart is the closed home sales over time from January 2011 until now. I'm recording this in October, so the stats go through September of 2024. So closed sales. If you've seen me give similar content about home prices or days on the market or months of inventory, you'll be familiar with what I'm about to show you. So I divide this timeline since 2011 into three sections. And the first one is recovering housing crash years. And then there's the recovered and stabilized years. And then we are currently in what I call the post-COVID-19 uncertainty years. So this arrow that I just put on the screen, this marks the beginning of the recovered and stabilized years and the end of the recovering housing crash years. The market started getting stabilized just prior to January of 2016, but 2016 was a pivotal year because new home builders got back into the game after being on the sidelines because of the housing crash. So although the housing market kind of stabilized in 2014, 2015, we saw it recovering and going in the right way. It wasn't until 2016 that new home builders got back into the game in a significant way, in a consistent way. And so I mark that date as the beginning of the recovered and stabilized years for that reason. So the highest volume of home sales during the recovering housing crash years occurred in 2015. And so the green line that I put on the screen shows the green line touching the top of that high, the highest volume of home sales just before we got into the recovered market. And I brought that line all the way to the recent high in 2024, which is lower than what it was in 2015. Now, again, we are talking about the number of home sales. I'm not talking about housing prices. Housing prices are still historically high, and I can explain that another time of why that is and why it's very unlikely that housing prices will come down, mainly because of inflation. Labor will catch up. Wages will catch up to the highly inflated prices. I don't believe home prices are going to go down, but homes are unaffordable for many people, and the solution to that really will be wage increases, not a crash in the housing market. But that's another issue for another day, another video. So this green line that I put on here, I'm kind of using a little bit of technical analysis. If you're familiar with the stock market and doing this, this you'll catch on to this idea that I have going here. But that is represents the top range of home sales while we continue to be in a kind of sluggish market as far as the volume of home sales go. And then the next line I'm going to put on here goes to the bottom, from the bottom of the recovering housing crash years, which was 2014. And I'm not dealing with 2011 and prior to, because that's when the market was completely different. If we were dealing with a housing crash, I would be going back further and comparing it to 2008, 9, and 10. But we don't need to do that for our purposes. It was still a recovering market in 2014, and so I've taken the lowest low during that particular set of years, and I drew the red line to the bottom of 2024, the number of home sales. And so my projection based on this analysis is that the number of home sales that will occur if things kind of remain where they are, either flat or a little bit sluggish, between, let's say, 16,000 home sales per year and 23,000 home sales per year. So this is what I use to demonstrate that as a small company that only has to sell 40 or 50 houses a year, there's plenty of buyers out there buying homes. Even though in a big picture, we see that the number of home sales is lower than what they've been in recent years. The fact is there's still plenty of buyers out there buying houses. And the fact that we're going to bring 40 homes that are newly renovated into a like new condition, there are buyers out there for our homes, and we're not competing for a small number of buyers when there's let's say 20,000 home sales per year. We're dealing with a very small segment of the home buyers that are out there. So anyway, I hope this gives you some context to this. If you're sitting on the sidelines and you understand that there's not a lot of housing activity going on, that is not the same as no housing activity going on. There's always home sales. And I kind of cut my teeth in real estate investing during the years of 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. And actually 2012, I worked with a hedge fund where I helped analyze over 1,000 transactions that year. The company made we made hundreds and hundreds of offers, and about 200 offers got under contract. Half of them were terminated, and then half of them were bought by the hedge fund. And so I learned during those years that there's a lot of activity that takes place when you look at the real estate market from an investor's perspective and the opportunities that are there. And so I'm seeing similar circumstances here, not a crash in the housing prices, but the sluggish number in this number of home sales every year. There's a ton of opportunity. We could, if we wanted to capitalize to the point where we wanted to take down 200 or 300 houses a year, we could do that and resell them even in this market over the next 12 months. We're not looking to scale to that level. 40 or 50 transactions a year gives us the opportunity to make a great profit for a relatively small number of investors that we invite into our projects. So anyway, if you have any questions about that and want to know more and like to connect with me on profiting in single family house investors, feel free to call me, text me, or email me anytime. I'll be glad to talk to you, and we could talk. We could even meet up. There's a couple of places around Metro Atlanta that I like meeting up with potential investors. So give me a call, text me, email me, and let's connect.